kurang sejuk pula hari ni. Cik. Mana?
Cik. Cik. Oh, cik.
Mana dapat angkat ikan? Mana yang basah lembu apa kau? Mami kan banyak masalah. Jual.
Oh, jangan aku sih banyak-banyak.
Kalau aku 14 ni ramai.
Kangaroo is coming to us. Ding 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 ding.
Oh, dia lompat tu. Hai.
Jom.
Follow sana. Jom.
Saya tunggu adik.
These are just some of our koalas, but we've had at least 10-15 more doggies. The koala keepers up there. Sorry, folks, come back. You find me this over?
So everyone, all the tour group come on this side, so we don't get mixed with public, okay? Yeah, everyone stay there.
They get very old in captivity, which is really great. So we love up to 10 foot high. Exactly. They get hand fed every single day. Brand new greenery for them. We've got a plantation out the back that's quite big. It's almost half the size of the park. That has just eucalyptus trees for our koalas. That's all they've got. So they're very spoiled with our animals. Platinum trees. All of the koalas that we've brought out to meet you have been hand raised by us, and they've been coming out to meet people since they were really little, so since a joey. So they're really used to people, they love their cuddles. So it's a really great experience for us. Who enjoyed meeting the koalas? Yeah, good photos? No, exactly right. So scientifically, koalas are the most fluffy animal in Australia. So each of their hair follicles, they've got just like us, but instead of having one hair per hair follicle, they've got at least 5 or 6. Yeah, so very, very dense, fluffy fur. Helps insulate them from the elements, so when it's really cold, it keeps them nice and warm, but when it's hot, it traps the cool air against them as well. So quite well adapted to live in Australia. So that's our koalas again. Burung gagak. Burung is bird, yeah? Yeah. It's just yeah. Oh, like the crows? Yeah, we have them here. You'll hear them around. They're always making lots of noise. Lots of noise here, but it's never silent. That was just one of the crows. So yeah, the kookaburras sound nice. Every morning and every evening, they're always making lots of noise. It's like a natural alarm clock for us. Alrighty, so next up we're heading in to see our wombats. We have 12 wombats here at Caversham, and all of them are rescue animals. So they've been orphaned in the wild for whatever reason. Vehicle strikes are a really prominent issue for our wombats. So all of the babies we have here, except for one, were joeys orphaned by a car accident. We've had 2 wombats successfully bred here. So Jessie, who you'll be able to see today, she was born here, and then she was hand raised by us. So she's going through a bit of a teenage phase at the moment. If we could just move over to one side first, just walk over to the left for me, just so we can see the side. Yeah, if we just all want to squish over to the left. Beautiful, thank you. So we hand raise a lot of our animals here at Caversham, especially the ones that we born here. So over to my right, your left is our joey nursery. So any joeys that we're currently hand raising live in there until they're big enough to join the big paddock. So we've got Spring, one of our agile wallabies who lives in there.
Udah ambil gambar.
So when we head in to meet our wombat, it's very important that when you have the fur, you're only touching the lower legs. So our wombats have really sensitive whiskers around their face and very sharp teeth. So we don't want to be touching near the face, just their legs. Our wombats are really friendly and they love a good cuddle, so they're more than happy for you to touch on the leg. They're totally safe. And our keeper will be in there as well to take some lovely photos for you. So once again, make sure you've got your cameras ready to go. And we're just heading in here behind me. As we walk in, please give your hands a bit sanitized for me. Yes. Before I meet our wombat. So the sanitizer is just here, folks. You can follow me on the back.
sorry.
So this wombat, her name is Callie, and she is 6 years old. And she weighs a whopping 28.5 kilos. She is a big girl. But most adult wombats are anywhere between 25 and 35 kilos.
And she's
28.5. Yeah, good workout. That's why I'm so strong.
not obvious.
Let's go ahead.
Not obvious.
Exactly. Very fit. None of us have to go to the gym. We just lift wombats. So in this enclosure behind us, we have Jessie. She's the one I was telling you about who was born here. And she is 4 years old. Yeah. Oh, you can go as a group, it's up to you. Yeah, you can go multiples or one by one, it's up to you. So guys, just a reminder, please make sure we're only touching the lower legs of the wombat.
Oh, the lower one.
Yeah, exactly. So these guys have really sensitive whiskers around their face that make them ticklish, but they also have very sharp teeth, so we want to stay away from the face. So once you've had your photo as well, you're welcome to go and have a look around at the animals, but please stay in this area. We'll move off as a group again.
Hello. So just touching the legs now.
Hey.
So just here if you're going to touch, okay?
Okay.
My name's Callie.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great day.
Where's the wombat?
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Kenyak ya.
This is Yogo. He's a western brush-tailed possum. You can have a feel only on his tail.
Okay,
Really
okay.
like to have a feel.
And Mrs. Madison will be your host for the show this morning. And our horse's name is Sam. Now we have some activities for you today in the show, some things that you might like to try, might like to have a go at cracking the whip. Towards the end of the show you'll have the chance to milk the cow by hand, of course. And a bit later on I'm going to show you how we shear the sheep. But before I can do that, we have to move some sheep into the shed. When we move sheep it's called mustering. And to do the mustering we use special dogs. Dogs that we use are Australian Kelpies, and they're specially bred for working sheep. Here's one of our dogs, this is Albert. Come on Albert, up here. Get up, good boy, come here. Sit. Now, the Australian copies like Albert, they've been bred to work sheep for nearly 200 years and now bred into the dogs. It's instinctive in them to work sheep. Albert's quite young, he's only 4 years old, so if he was a person, he would be about probably 28 or 29 years old. So I'm going to take him out now and just show you how the mustering works. After I've done that, I'll get Albert to bring the sheep right back into the shed, into this pen right here. Right, let's go, Albert. Good boy. Albert. Good. Now, during the mustering, the Stockman, that's me, will control the dog. In turn, the dog will control the sheep. We use 3 main commands for the dogs. Command round sends the dog out to the left side of the sheep. The command back will send him out to the right side. And the command stay will make him stay where he is until he gets another command. Because the sheep always move away from the dog, we can move the sheep to whatever we want just by controlling the dog. So there's another sheep over there. I'm going to start by sending Albert to the left side first. Speed Albert, round, round. See the sheep looking right over there.
When I
Round, round. Stay. Good. You go back. Go back. Man, back, send down to that right side. One little bit away, so we'll get him to bring him up into the shed now. Here they come. Good luck. Here they come again. There we go. Good job, Albert. Sit. Sit. Now, a very important thing we do with our dogs, once they've moved the sheep for us, we like to reward them for doing that. We do that with a pat, lets them know that we're pleasing them. So, good boy, mate, good job. Good boy. Off you go. When we do this, it signs them off, and that lets them know that their work is all finished. Good boy, Albert. Now, you might be wondering what the horse was doing out there. Nothing at all. The mustering was done entirely by the dog. So what's the purpose of the horse? Well, you can probably guess. It's simply just to provide transport for the stockman or stockwoman, or just to carry us along, keep us close to the sheep and the dogs, so we're always in control of the mustering. Now, these sheep we've just brought in here, they are girls. They're female sheep, and the female sheep are called ewes. But we also have some boys here. So we're going to introduce the boys. So here they come. So this is the old boy, his name is Pete, this is Trev the young one. And the boys are called rams. And the reason that we have the rams is so that they can breed with the ewes and of course make more sheep. Now when the stockman's out mustering the sheep on the horse, he likes to have some morning and afternoon tea, just as we all do when we're working all day. The traditional tea that the Stockman has is called billy tea, and that's because we brew the tea in a billy. This is the billy. So it doesn't matter what type of tea we put in here, it's always billy tea. So when a Stockman wants a cup of tea, he'll get off his horse, he'll make a fire on the ground, he'll put the billy full of water directly into the fire. Once it's boiling, he'll throw in a handful of tea leaves, and then he'll pick up the billy that's full of boiling tea now, and he'll swing the billy like this. Swinging the billy is a famous Australian tradition, but there is a practical reason why we do it. When we swing the billy, it forces the tea leaves down to the bottom of the billy immediately. So it's the same force that keeps the water in there. So with all the tea leaves at the bottom of the billy, the Stockman can get a nice clean cup of tea much quicker, and that's a good reason that he can do it. Just to show that I wasn't tricking you, there is plenty of water in the billy. Now, let's see if I can get one of our visitors to come down and try this. That's this guy right here, there we go. Come on, sir, thank you. Thank you, sir. Where are you from? Singapore, okay. So then you get stand just here for me. Now, sir, there's no trick to this, okay? So nothing bad will happen to you. The billy's about half full. I'll show you first. Just keep your arms straight. Swing it forward this way around 2 or 3 times, and then stop. Right, there we go. Thank you, sir. That's very nice. Well done. Now, sir, did you notice that when he was swinging the billy that Albert was barking? Now, Albert is the judge of the billy swinging. Albert watches everyone who swings the billy. When he saw you do it, sir, he said, very good. Now, before I can show you how we shear one of these sheep, we have to move the sheep from here into the catching pen. As the name suggests, the shearer will catch the sheep from in the catching pen, bring it through the gate, shear it over here. And whenever we move the sheep, of course, we use our dogs. Now, we have 3 more dogs over there. We have Rusty, who is 12 years old, and he is the father of Arthur. Arthur's 7 years old, and we have a young dog over there. His name is Henry. Henry's only 2 years old. So Arthur's going to help this time. So Uncle and Lucy here. Alright, ready boys? Round. Come on, push him up, push him up. Good boys. Alright, there we go. So you can see the sheep moving away from the dogs once again. That makes it a bit easier because the dogs do the work for us. And then we reward our dogs once again, and we do that just by giving them a pat. Lets them know that we're pleasing. Come on, boys. Here, Albert. Here, good boy. Good boy. Sit. There we go. There we go, boys. Once again, that size them off. Good boys. Now, this is the equipment that we use to shear the sheep. It's called the shearing plant. So if you switch on this electric motor, this provides the power to do the shearing. When I pull it into gear, the motor drives the shaft inside this tube down to the bottom to the tool that shears the sheep. This is the tool, and it's called the handpiece. The handpiece has 2 blades on it. It has a fixed blade on the bottom called the comb, and this will comb through the wool. A small blade on the top that cuts the wool off, and that's called the cutter. The cutter moves, as you can see. It's very fast, very noisy, very sharp, and it's also very dangerous. Now, this shearing plant, this is what is used today. This is the modern way of shearing sheep. Being the modern way, it's also the easy way, but it wasn't always that easy. Long time ago, all the sheep in Australia had to be shorn by hand. This is the tool that was used. These are called shears. It was about 100 years ago that these were used. At that time in Australia, there were about 70 million sheep. They all had to be shorn every year using the shears. Shearers would work for 10 hours a day, and in a day, they could shear about 70 or 80 sheep using the shears. Today, they can shear twice that many sheep. One shearer can shear 150 to 200 sheep in one day. So it is much easier today. Something else that makes it easier for the shearer is this piece of equipment, and this was invented by a shearer who had a bad back. He couldn't shear sheep anymore because of his back. How do you think he got the bad back? Of course, bending over, shearing sheep down this position all day. So what do you think we do with this? Do we put the sheep in here, do you think? Make it easy to shear? No, it's for the shearer, not the sheep. The shearer gets in. Down in the shearing position you can see the springs working, supporting quite a lot of my weight. That takes a lot of strain off my back. Now I'm going to get one of these sheep out now and show you how we shear it. I'll hand you over to Toby. He'll explain to you what's going on during the shearing.
When the shearer catches the sheep, the first thing he'll do is turn it upside down very quickly. This gets the sheep off its legs and under control so that it can't get away. The shearer will start the shearing by moving the belly wool. When the belly wool is removed, it is kept separate from the rest of the wool. This is because it needs different processing. When a sheep lies down its belly, it picks up all kinds of rubbish, including vegetable matter, grass seeds, spurs and prickles, which are all very hard to remove from the wool. In a commercial shearing shed, there will be more than one shearer, usually 4 or 5 working in a team. We call them a team of shearers. They'll start work at 7:30 in the morning, work for 2 hours, have a break and a cup of tea, work for another 2 hours and so forth for an 8-hour day. When the shearer shears down the sheep's head, you must be very careful with its eyes and ears. The sheep's neck is the most difficult part of the sheep to shear. As you'll see, the hand needs to go through the wool, and the shearer has to feel for the sheepskin before he can peel back the wool and see where he is going. In Australia, we shear mainly merino sheep. Merino is the breed of the sheep. Merinos have lots of loose and wrinkly skin all over their bodies, but especially around their neck. This next part of shearing is called the long blow, the blow being the stroke of the handpiece. The long blow is the longest blow a shearer can do on a sheep, from one end all the way to the other, so you can get a lot of wool off very quickly with the long blow. You might like to think of shearing as having a haircut. When you have your haircut, it doesn't hurt. You're neat and tidy for a while, but before long you need it cut again. This is the same for the sheep, except we only shear them once a year. This last style of shearing is called the whipping style. It's called this as it is the fastest style of shape to shear. Having shorn off most of the wool already, all the shearer has to do now is whip down this last style of shape so you can finish it off and get out another one and shear as many sheep as you can in a day. The shearer will make around $4 for every sheep that he shears. This may not sound like much, but knowing he can shear 150 to 200 sheep in a day, he's earning quite a bit of money. And here we have a plain shorn sheep. Well done, Dan. Let's give him a clap.
Now, in a wool sheep, there's a natural grease, which is called lanolin. You've probably heard of it. A lot of skincare products and ladies' cosmetics, they're made from lanolin. It's very good for your skin. It's also very good for the sheep itself. Immediately after we shear the sheep, it produces a large amount of lanolin that covers its own body in grease. This protects the sheep from the weather, keeps it warm and dry. So we can put the sheep outside immediately after shearing at any time of the year, even winter time, and they don't suffer at all. Now when I rub the body of the sheep on the freshly cut wool, you'll be able to see the lanolin shining on my hands. It's very greasy, I can certainly feel that. Very good for your skin. So after the show, when the sheep is back in the catching pen, you might like to go over there and rub the sheep, just like I did. Rub it a long time, rub it all over your face, you'll have lovely soft skin. You smell terrible, you smell really bad, but your skin will be very good. Now this butterfly we have here is called a fleece. There are workers in the shearing shed. They're called rouseabouts. One of those rouseabouts will pick up the fleece of wool and throw it out onto a wool table. I'm going to demonstrate this for you by throwing the fleece onto the floor so you can see better. You might like to imagine we have a wool table here. So as you can see, the technique of shearing gets all the wool off in one piece. It's all drawn together just like a big rug. This is very important because when the rouseabout throws out the fleece of wool, all of the short wool from along the legs and all of the dirty greasy wool from underneath the legs, that all goes out to the edges of the fleece. So we can skirt around the fleece and remove this wool, and this process is called skirting the fleece. So that's the back leg there, so removing all the short dirty wool from right on the edge. And we go up along the fleece, up here's the front leg, and some of the short wool from around the neck. Now the reason that we do this is to increase the value of the fleece, because these pieces we've removed are much less valuable than the main fleece wool. And these pieces are called pieces. Now Australia has some of the best quality and the finest wool in the world. This fleece wool, this will be made into very high quality clothing, things such as men's suits, ladies' jackets, evening dresses, all very expensive. This is how much wool a sheep produces in 1 year. It's about 5 kilos. That's enough wool to make 3 complete men's suits. If you had to buy those suits, they would cost you over $1,000. But the value of this fleece is about $40. $40 is what the farmer gets for a fleece of wool. Now we put them all into a wool press. This metal box here is the wool press. We put about 40 or 50 fleeces in here. Press it down tight using this machine. That's how we make a bale of wool. Now most of Australia's wool is exported. We export our wool to many different countries. But the main one today is, where do you think? China. China, of course. Now the burley wool and the pieces, they'll be made into woolly socks, woolly jumpers and blankets for the bed. All these little bits we have left, these are called locks. Locks get mixed together and made into a material called felt. Felt material can be made into many different things. So this is just one example here. This felt hat. It's made from pure new Australian merino wool. Now, when a stockman's out mustering the sheep, he uses the Australian stock whip. When we crack the whip, it makes a very loud bang. The purpose of the whip is simply to get the attention of the sheep that we're mustering. That's its only purpose. We don't hit any animals with it. This is how we crack the whip. Now remember, when a stockman's cracking the whip, he'll be riding along on his horse. We have to be very careful that we don't hit our horse. So there's two methods that we use to crack the whip to make sure that we don't. We can crack the whip over the horse's head like this. The other way we can do it is up and down like this. Now when we do it that way, the whip travels alongside the horse. Now if you watch very closely this time, you'll be able to see what makes the whip crack. But this time, I'm not going to make any sound. So no sound this time. So this is how we do it. We swing the whip forward. And then to make it crack, we have to change direction with our arm and go back in the opposite direction. So it's forward, and then back, forward, and back. When we change direction, that creates a loop in the whip. This loop will then travel out to the end of the whip like a wave. When it gets to the end, it will flip the end over faster than the speed of sound. So this piece on the end called the cracker, this is breaking the sound barrier. So it's a sonic boom that you're hearing. Now, this is just for the adults this one. Now, who would like to be first to come down and have a go at cracking the whip? Yes, come on. Come down, thanks. Welcome. Where are you from? England. Okay, so you stand in a circle there and face that way forward. Okay, so before anyone can attempt to crack the whip, we must have his hat on, okay? So it's very important that we wear the Australian stockman's hat while we're cracking the whip. Why do you think we have to wear the hat? What's it for? Protection, yes, so you don't hit yourself. Good reason, don't you think? But the reason for the hat, it looks good for the pictures. So wear the hat. Now, right hand or left? Have you done this before? Okay, I'm going to show you first, okay? So stay right there for me. So this is going forward. Now when you swing the whip, keep your arms straight, imagine a helicopter, okay? To make it crack, we'll go the other way. We'll do that on the count of 3. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to get you come stand this way to swing the whip, so we've got people there. So if you stand right next to that line there, and stay right there, you'll be fine. So swing your leg first. That's good, now a bit faster. Now swing the other way. Okay? So when you swing it, you have to swing it and get your hand right around the head like that. That makes it easier to go that way to crack it, okay?